Hey guys, I want to just take a few minutes to catch you up if you missed class today or I went too fast in class on biotech stocks. Today we started a new topic on biotech stocks. So let me give you a little background information. If you took economics, this will be a breeze and you'll understand it and you'll know what to do and you can skip ahead. But if you did not, I'm just going to assume that you don't know anything, so I'm going to start from there. This video hopefully won't be too long and I'll just give you a brief synopsis of what to do, and you can ask me any questions that you don't understand in class or after school. But this is a great place to start if you were absent. Okay, so biotech corporations don't always start out rich. They need to have money for researchers to do the work and to pay the researchers. They need to have equipment like microscopes and centrifuge and all kinds of expensive equipment. And so a lot of times the companies will put themselves on the stock market where people can buy pieces or shares of their company. And when the company does well, those shareholders, people with pieces of the company, will do well too. If the company tanks, then people start to lose money, people start to sell off their shares, and it's a bad thing. But if they are producing medicines and there's good press and people are buying in the company and the company's doing great, those shareholders will also do great. Okay, so that's how a lot of places get their money. So let's go over here and get to our Google Classroom account. Mine's up here. I'm just going to click it. I'm going to use 8-5-6 as an example. Scroll down to where you see Biotech Stock Portfolio Guidelines. Okay. Click on the first document. Let me read this to you a little bit. Much of what drives the biotech industry is correlated to what's occurring in the financial markets. Investment trends follow scientific trends, and in many cases, the science of biotech cannot be done without the finances, the money. Okay. In this activity, you will have $1 million, 1 million bucks, not real money, to invest in the ever-changing stock market. Are you ready to take the risks? You will need to research 3 to 4 companies within NASDAQ. There's actually a typo. There should be an A here. And eventually choose 2 biotech companies in nutriceuticals, biopharmaceuticals, whatever, that will yield the most money on the stock market. In other words, you're going to pick 2 companies, invest your $1 million bucks, and at the end of a month, about a month, whoever wins the most money will actually win a cash prize in class. I'll talk to you about that in class. So back to this. Looking at the history of the prospective companies will give you an insight into what they might be going on, into where they might be going in the future. News about a company and its products can impact whether stock is going up or down. For example, Apple, that's a company too, not a biotech company. But if they have the new iPhone 7 coming out, their stocks are going to go up because it's great. But if people don't like the stock, or if the phone starts to tank and crash and the iOS is terrible, then the stock is going to start to drop. Okay, people are going to sell it off and be like, Apple's crap. But if they release something awesome, people are going to buy up that stock and the price of the stock will go up and the company will do great. Okay. Your investment may also be a compassionate one. You might choose a company because somebody in your family has cancer and you want to support the company, or choose the company, follow the company that's making the new medication or drug that he or she will be taking. Okay. So here's what you need: your computer with internet access, Google spreadsheet, we'll work on that next time, and your notebook. In your notebook, you are going to be doing a little research that will count as a homework grade in one of these areas of biotech. You can pause and take a moment to read those if you want. Here is what you're going to be doing. You're going to choose 3 companies to invest in next time I see you, next class. I'm going to ask you what your companies are. Okay. I want you to choose 3 because we're going to go around the room and pick, and if one of yours gets taken, you'll have a backup. Okay. Here's what you'll need to do. You'll need to tell me the name of the company with their stock symbol, the industry, their location, what do they make, what are they doing on the stock market, and why did you pick them? All right, before you freak out, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Open a new tab, or you can just look at my screen. So I'm used to saying open a new tab. Okay, on here, NASDAQ.com or NASDAQ.com is where the trading takes place. So I'm going to wait for that to load, which may take forever. If you go back to our classroom, I also shared with you a document that says the complete biotech stocks on NASDAQ was a Google sheet that I made. So it might not be completely up to date of all the biotech companies that I know of. And then if you click the second one, this is a website that continually updates all the current list of biotech stocks that are on the NASDAQ. Okay. And they're not always right. Like if you were to scroll at the bottom, some people are like, that's not a company anymore. That's not a company anymore. And even I made a comment on here that was like, I think this one has changed. Oh, it's not even there anymore. But here's a whole list of all these companies. How are you going to pick which one to do? That's completely up to you. You can, be like top 10 biotech companies and like do a little research, or you can just pick one because the name sounded cool and you're like, oh, Sure, that sounds good. I'm going to use that one. Okay, it's up to you how you choose your companies. Of course, you want to win the money in the class, but do what you got to do. Okay, so let me just show you the NASDAQ. Here we are, finally loaded. Let's put in Apple just because we were talking about it. If you type in the name of a company, it will give you their abbreviation, or you can just type in the abbreviation. Let's take a look at how Apple's doing. Again, this takes a little bit of time. NASDAQ is a little slow, and so is the internet sometimes. And so I stall, and I'm like, tell you a joke. And I'll say, why didn't the skeleton go to the homecoming dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with. Okay, it loaded, thank God. That was a really terrible joke. Okay, scroll down, and you see that one piece or one share of Apple is $116 per share. That's pretty pricey for a company. They're actually in the red, which means they have lost. They're down 39 cents. It means yesterday it was 39 cents more expensive, and now they're cheaper. This means the whole company is down 0.33%, which isn't, like, again, 39 cents is 0.33% of this large money. It's not a giant tank. It's just a 0.33% drop. Over here on the left is your, like, navigation tools. This is a real-time quote, so this is right now on the NASDAQ. See, it says here what time it was updated. And then after hours quote or summary quote will give you like a summation of the company and what they did for the day. I'm going to stop this. Mrs. Kelma, what'd you do? Hold on. Okay, back to this. If you scroll down a little bit farther, you'll see a basic chart. And if you click on that, it'll show you what Apple's been doing for the last year and how their stock has gone up or down or what's been going on with that. So we're going to wait for that to load. But if you look again while we're waiting for that to load, there's a whole bunch of different companies over here. And remember that when you pick a company like Apple or Sinosure, you're going to need to find out a little bit more information about them. This A through F stuff. Okay. Name of the company with the stock symbol, easy. Industry, like what do they make? Okay, let's see if Apple has loaded yet. Here it is. Over here it tells you industry, technology. Again, this is not a biotech, or it would say biotech or something like that over here. Here's that chart that I was waiting to load, and it tells you over the last year what's been going on with Apple. You can even change this to 3 months if you want to see the 3 months that Apple's over the last 3 months since the iPhone 7 came out. Stocks have been going up. They released a new phone. People are loving it. It's awesome. Stocks going up. But about last year, they were here as well. So they dropped for a while. Maybe the operating system was tanking and it wasn't doing so good. Okay, that's what happens all the time. Along this blue bar are also some information you might want to look up. Company headlines will tell you what the company's like. Hey, we just made this new product. But there can be bias because it's the company who releases those headlines. And so they might be like, we're awesome. Invest in us. Press release will tell you what's going on in the news about your company. So if you click on that press release, we're probably going to see something about the iPhone 7. If your biotech company is on there, it might be talking about something that they released. Let's see. Beyond the gadget, smartwatches, something happened with smartwatches that talked about Apple. There's some other information. Each of these is linked to the article. So if you click on them, it'll tell you the article, and it'll even highlight where Apple is located on that article. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to kind of research. If we look at some of these other ones here, Fate is one of the companies that we can look at. But you can, again, here's that article. You can put in your own company. So let's say we pick, what do we pick over here? Sinosure, Sino. So I can go Sino on here and see what Sinosure is doing. You might not want to pick Sinosure. I just randomly picked one, just like I picked Apple. You can have that look. You can also find out a lot about the company by Googling them. So if you Google Sinosure, you'll go right to their corporate website, Sinosure Inc. Again, this is the healthcare industry. Man, my internet's slow. I'm sorry, this video's slow. There we go. Okay. What do they make? This is a very fancy website. You can hit products to find out what they make, because you'll need to know, oh, look, they make, looks like tools, lab tools. So I would write down 2 or 3 of these tools that they make. Okay. Because again, remember, you have to do the name and their stock symbol, Cynosure or CYNO. Industry, remember we found that over here. Industry is healthcare. Okay. We also found out where they're located. Okay, Cynosure, where are they located? I would look on their website. Under Contact Us is usually a great place to look. And it'll tell you where their corporate headquarters are. That's what we're looking for when we look them up. Okay, corporate headquarters, here it is, in Massachusetts, right over the border. Okay, and then what do they make? I talked to you about that. You're going to look on their website for that. Okay. Also, you need to find out their information. What's the history of the stock? Has it been going up? Has it been going down? How much does it cost? It looks like it's $49.90. It's down $2. Well, that's a lot actually. So you might want to hit that basic chart and see what it's been doing over the year. You'll get that basic chart is where you get that chart of ups and downs for the last year. Write a little bit about that, about a sentence. And then F, why did you pick Cynosure? I picked it randomly because I don't know anything about stocks. Or I Googled the top 10 stocks and that's what I got. Be careful if you do Google the top 10 stocks because probably other people did in the class too. And when we pick stocks, your choices might get chosen. Just like fantasy football, you want the best guys, and then somebody else takes them, and you're like, so you should always have a backup plan. So that's why I want you to do 3 companies for credit, but you might want to do 4 just in case, like a sleeper company, just in case somebody else takes your other 3. Okay, that's the plan. That's what you have to do for homework, is research. Get an A through F for all 3 of your biotech companies that you pick from a list. This list is fine. Pick any 3. As long as you've got the research. Some of these have gone under, so you might not find them because they went bankrupt, because that's what happens sometimes. And there may be ones not on this list. Make sure they're biotech companies. If you're not sure, refer to this list or refer to this list that I made for you, which are all, again, right here on Classroom. Okay? Any questions? You can hit me up through Remind or see me in class before or after school. Love ya.